Hey, good morning. My name is Mike Shreve, local resident here of South Lake Tahoe for 70 years. I can't believe it. But I'm standing on the corner of Sawmill Road and Lake Tahoe Boulevard. But I want to point out something. This is the pond we have all come to know as the Sawmill Pond. But the history behind that is that back in the very early 1960s, there was aggregate being excavated from this area to build the roads out here in the Mountain View Estates subdivision. Well, little did they know that the next year after they had excavated all the good aggregate, it began to fill in because they didn't realize there were underground springs in this area. This little creek right here that runs underneath Sawmill Road goes over to Angora Creek, and fish have been known to spawn up through here. One of my co-workers decided, I'm gonna just throw a fishing pole and hook and line and sinker out here, and he landed a 17-inch brown trout, which means it had to have come up the Truckee River, come all the way up Angora Creek, followed its way up through here, and decided, I'm gonna live in this here pond. We're gonna dispel this name, Sawmill Pond. There was a sawmill here by the Celio family. The Celios milled all of their multi-thousand acre possessions from here to the south end of Christmas Valley. But they did have a sawmill, and they had a sawmill pond, but it's across Lake Tahoe Boulevard. So we're gonna walk over there and I'm gonna show you the remains of the original Celio Sawmill. Okay, right now we're standing on the bike trail, but if you look out to my left, which would be looking due east, you'll see part of the rampart where the logs were rolled up from the deck, and they would go in and they would soak in the pond and they would be milled. So let's walk over. Wow. Well, they must have had the sawmill attached to this because of by the formation here, machinery had to sit here. So I strike back the fact that this was where they unloaded the logs. This is a mount for a piece of equipment. And something was here, it was cut off with a torch. This used to be clearly visible from Lake Tahoe Boulevard, and the trees have now grown up and they obscure it.
Yeah, cute. I would never even know it's here. Oh, look, there's another one.
There it is, okay. Phew, I'm not losing my mind. Oh, bless their hearts. Oh. Somebody decided to paint it. Oh, but look at this. Here's proof that it was an electric run mill. And you can see this is a huge amount of concrete. Look over here on the other side of this, Annalisa. Look at that. And see, it goes all the way down. And logs would be rolled up here and then sent over that way. You can see skid track. So I would guesstimate that the size of this is important. How much concrete is in here? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. This is 35 feet wide, 5, 10, by 15. So you've got a 35 by 15 platform that would have held the mill covering. This shows that there was once a wooden structure here. It's rotted and the nails are left. Obviously, we know this was a post 1890 construction, because prior to that, they used square nails. Let's go take a look at that pond. Right here is the original Sawmill Pond. I don't know how deep, but by looking at it, it's got to be at least 6 feet deep. So they definitely brought the logs in on this side.
Yes.
And put them into the water. I wouldn't want to drink that.
No. That's crazy. This is a better view of the old Sawmill Pond, huh?
This is the view nobody ever sees.
This thing was huge.
Yeah.
So it was the extent of the pond, because the pond kind of ends right here.
Yeah, so all along here's where they must have offloaded them and floated them across and then taken them over to the sawmill, which was over there at that last big chunk of concrete. As I mentioned, there was a supplemental 6 to 8 inch supply line that brought water as an aqueduct from Angora Creek and took it over to the sawmill. I'm standing next to a piece of that iron pipe that still exists. As you pan over this way, you'll see that it goes under Lake Tahoe Boulevard and it follows the topography of this area over to Angora Creek. Wow. And now the Sawmill Pond sits right over there behind those willows. So you can see it from that pipe to push water over. It wasn't that far. Maybe at most a quarter mile.